All right. Ooh, we're going live, going live, going live, going live, going live. All right. So for those dozens in attendance as we shoot this live each and every week, we've got the show getting ready to go here. And we're just going to pop into Facebook and make sure that everything is going live before we get going for good. Oh, I see myself. So therefore, yes, we are indeed live. And I can see that people are starting to pop in here and watch, so that'll be exciting. We're going to talk about some fun things today. Last week we talked about playlists, and I kind of mentioned what we'd be talking about this week, and that is your YouTube channel page. And we're going to talk about that because it's an often overlooked item when it comes to YouTube, and overlooked for a reason. I'm going to be completely honest with you. You know, a very small percentage of your audience is actually going to go to your YouTube channel page. You know, and unfortunately that's true. So, but it's still very important for those that do go there. And if you do it properly, more people will go there. And so it can improve your visibility on all sorts of things. So welcome to all of you who have joined us. And I can see there's quite a few of you popping in here already. So feel free to say hi. We may or may not look at it during the show and reply back. But if you've got questions on anything that we talk about, please feel free to pop them in there. If you want to tell me why vaccines are good or bad, feel free to put that in there too. We've been talking a lot about that today, which is always a fun pleasure. You know, we talk about that issue. But no, in all seriousness, if you've got questions about your channel, pop them in there. If you've got ideas about your channel, and when I say channel, I'm talking about the actual channel page, not the channel as an ethereal, thing out there. I'm talking about the actual page that you have,
the landing page,
for your YouTube channel. Yes, the actual YouTube landing page for your channel. So feel free to do that. And with that, Steve, are you ready to get started? By the way, I've been suffering I've been sick the last couple of days, so if I look like I'm choking to death, I'll try to mute myself, and then you can jump in and talk, so we don't look like we don't sound like idiots on the end. So
yeah,
there we go.
Even though we look like idiots, that's a good one.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna, before we get started, Steve, talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna get something into this cup so that while we're going.
All right. Now, one thing I did want to point out, Ray posted what was supposed to be a picture of his kitchen with the red cabinets, and I didn't care for it. And my wife looked at it, and she liked it, and it created a lot of discussion, and well, it was a joke. It's not Ray's kitchen. Boy, he had me fooled. So anyhow, yeah, but today with the optimization thing, you know what that works well for is if you got the sections and the playlists and it optimized properly. If you're doing how-to videos, how to build something and, knitting. My wife's into knitting. So if you had a bunch of knitting videos, how to do certain knots, people, I think, would go to your homepage. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely, especially because you can put them in a row. And going back to the kitchen thing there just for a second, I was actually in a kitchen store when I took that picture.
Oh, were you?
So,
okay.
Yes, we were looking at kitchens, and I came across that, and I thought it was so ridiculous that I had to take a picture of it. But the funny thing is like I said to my wife after, I said, I could see that being used for like a cooking TV show, something like that. And I think it could work well for something like that. Or, maybe in an office where you're trying to get some sort of a retro look to things. I could see it working there, but, for your everyday kitchen, holy cow, you'd want to poke your own eyes out after a while, I think.
It'd be okay in a garage, too. You could put some red
I could see that.
behind it. Yeah,
I could see it in something like that, but just not my everyday kitchen. Oh, my gosh, no. I'm way too much of a traditionalist for that, I think. I think half of the modern kitchens that we see in these stores are just ridiculous. That one, being 10 times worse, so... Anyway,
my wife thought it was cool, though. She's a graphic artist, for what it's worth. So.
It's those creative types,
Yeah.
They just don't know how to stick with tradition. What can I say?
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, let's get ready to start the actual show. I'm going to take my drink there to get us so ready. Okay. Mm-hmm. And in 5, 4, 3. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about how to optimize your YouTube channel. Channy? Let's try that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about how to optimize your YouTube channel page. And today's episode is made possible by Thumbnail Blaster. That's right, Thumbnail Blaster, the software that helps you to make amazing thumbnails from a huge collection of templates so that all you have to do is go in, choose your video, choose the template, make a little bit of minor adjustments, and hit publish, and it will automatically publish that thumbnail directly to your video on YouTube. You don't even have to go into YouTube in order to do this. In fact, you could sit there and go through all of your videos and very quickly make a thumbnail for each and every video all in a row. And now the fun part, something I haven't mentioned before. They even have an A/B split test for your thumbnails, so you can actually split test which thumbnail is going to help get more views for your videos. Now, believe me, YouTube themselves have come out and said that the thumbnail and the title are the two most important things they look at when deciding what to feature and show when people do searches or visit the site. So you want to have the best thumbnails possible for all of your videos, and with Thumbnail Blaster, you can do it, well, in a blast. Just jump in there and get started right away. You want to learn more, you want to get the bonuses that we've put together for it, well then head on over to raythevideoguy.com/thumbnail blaster, all one word, Thumbnail Blaster. And you'll go in there, you'll see our bonuses, you'll see my review and demo, and you'll be able to pick it up right away at a very special price. So check it out, Thumbnail Blaster, the easy way to start creating thumbnails for your videos. And with that, Steve, are you ready to hear our beautiful song?
Indeed.
Ooh, well, for those who are listening then, here it comes.
Ooh, Andy.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray, the video guy. You can see all the things you need to subscribe to on our landing page at govmm.com.
govmm.com, and that's for Apple Podcasts and what's the Android equivalent of that? The
Google
equivalent?
Podcasts.
Google Podcasts, yes. Stitcher, TuneIn, all those lovely places. The Commodore 64 SID format forum.
That's
I just
there.
made that up. That's not true. If you got a Commodore 64, you're not going to be listening to this.
No, you won't
Sadly.
be. We do have links to our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Twitter.
That's right. Facebook, big place for us. Head on over to our Facebook page.
yeah.
Check it out. Learn more about the show. Send mail bombs. All that other fun stuff. Indeed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Steve, are you ready to talk about your channel page?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Well, let's go back in the Wayback Machine here. That's the Wayback Machine voice sound there. So for those of you listening at home. So we're going back to a couple of years ago, and the YouTube channel page changed quite a bit. Now, in the past, it was kind of this, well, it used to be kind of cool. They used to have this really neat full page format that they had. It was very interesting and had a little bit of information in a couple of videos, and you could do some really cool stuff. You could make these really neat backgrounds, but they've modernized the page a couple of times, and the current version, which I'm going to call version 3. So what we're in now is what I call version 3, and the reason for that is the original one had those cool backgrounds. The second one was kind of weird and boring and didn't last very long at all. They only had it for maybe a year at the most. Didn't give you a lot of options. And then they created the new and current version where you've got the big channel art in the background, you got all the information down below, and by far this is the best version of YouTube that they have ever come up with. Very user-centric for both the person putting up their videos and for the person visiting the page. It allows you to showcase a lot more of your videos in a much more easy-to-handle format. It allows you to do more searches. It allows you to get a trailer in there. So just a much, much better format for everybody that uses YouTube, whether you're the creator or you're just somebody looking to view some videos. So with that comes a lot of opportunity to customize that particular page. Now, again, as I mentioned in the pre-show, we're not talking about optimizing your channel as a whole here. I'm talking literally about the actual channel page that people go to. So this is information about that. And so what does your channel page have? Well, it's got a number of different things that you can customize that can help you to get more information disseminated, get more videos viewed, get more people to click back to whatever it is you're trying to sell or get people to do, and of course to just organize your information and videos in a way that's much more easy to digest. So starting off at the very top of the page, and by the way, feel free to open up a YouTube channel page and follow us along at home. So at the very top of the page, you're going to see that channel art that goes across. It's that big banner at the top there that has, for most of you probably has a generic YouTube background or has nothing at all because you've never even set up a channel page. So if you go to your own channel and all you see is, a menu and then maybe a video, well, you haven't even set up your channel page yet, let alone optimized it. So you got to make sure that you go into your settings and you actually turn on your channel page. And when you do, you'll have the ability to put a big banner at the top, which is called the channel art. And the channel art uses what's called the one channel format. And what that means is that whether somebody is watching on a big screen TV, they're watching on their computer, their laptop, their iPad, or their smartphone, they're going to get the same image in the background. So you don't have to upload 5 different images in order to create a background for each one. You upload one image and it reformats itself for each and every one of those devices. So the image that you want to create is going to be 2560 by 1440, which is a very big image. That's actually bigger than HD. And that's good because some people are going to be using 4K video, TVs at home, and so obviously you need a nice big image. Even though that's not 4K in size, it's going to look a lot better. Steve, you had something you wanted to add to that?
I love the banner being the one size fits all because I can't tell you how many social media sites I have that look fine on a desktop, and you built it exactly like they told you to build it, and then you go on your phone, and it's like, what the heck? So YouTube has taken care of that, and I think that I really wanted to emphasize how important that is. No,
that is very, very important. In fact, the way that it's done too, by the way, so that you kind of understand this, is you build that giant 2560 by 1440 image, which is a big rectangle. It's a 16 by 9 widescreen TV-sized format. Now, for those of you looking at your channel on your computer, you'll notice that that banner is definitely not 16 by 9 like your television. It's a long, thin banner. Well, that's because when you create this, you're going to create all of the important information in the very center of that giant image as a banner going across the middle. So, for instance, you might have all of your graphics in that little center box in the middle or rectangle, and then everything else around it is just some sort of colored background or textured background, something like that, or a big image. And the reason for that is because what YouTube does is on the computer, it crops into that middle bar. And on the iPads, it crops into a little smaller version of that. So it'll be, the height would be the same, but the length would be different. And then the same thing for the phones. It just gives you a smaller one. And if you got a big screen computer, it's going to show a little more. If you got a smaller screen computer, it's going to cut off the edges on that. And if you got a TV, it has the opportunity to show it full screen on the television. And that's why everything goes into the middle. Now, if you want to get a piece of channel art template that will help you with that, if you actually go to YouTube and you search up, in my videos, if you search up the how to set up a YouTube channel, and you'll find one of my videos. Go to youtube.com/RayTheVideoGuy. There is a video there specific to YouTube channel, and you'll be able to download the channel art from within that. And so just check that out, and you'll be able to pull that in. In fact, we'll probably put a direct link to that download inside of the show notes, and I'll get that to Steve afterwards. It's a funky little shortened email, so URL, so I'll get that for you guys. But that will help you to get the channel art. And also in that package, it's going to have some checklists for different YouTube stuff as well for your channel, for your videos. So you'll get all of that in one package. And we'll provide that at the end there. But you can search that up on YouTube. So once you have your channel art set up on your page is going to look pretty good at this point in time because you're going to have that nice, beautiful piece of artwork. And by the way, YouTube actually looks to make sure that you've put channel art on your channel. If you do not do this, they will actually not give you access to certain tools to help you grow your channel. They want to make sure that people are doing this, and so you've got to do that in order to get some of the tools that you want to use on the back end. And that also goes with that little icon that's in the corner of where you have to have your profile picture. You need to put in a profile picture as well, because that's going to, if you don't have those two things, they're not going to let you get some of the tools that you want to use. Okay, so make sure you get those two things. Now, the next thing on your channel is in that channel art. You'll notice in the lower right-hand corner of that channel art, there's going to be, if you've done it right, little links back to your website or your social media pages. You want to make sure you go into the About section of your channel and add in your website, your Facebook page, your Twitter page, your Pinterest, whatever it is that you want to put in there. You can put up to 5 links that will show up on the channel art. Now, you can put more links than that. The icons just won't show up on the channel. So, but on the About page, you can have more than the 5 links, but you definitely want to have 4 or 5 of those links in there, so you get the little icons right there that people can, on your channel page, click and go directly to your Facebook or your website or whatever it happens to be. So that's a very important thing that you can do that can really make a big difference for your channel. Now, the next big thing we want to talk about is the name of your channel. You want to give the channel a good name that not only tells people what it is, but also gives them a little bit of a search criteria, maybe a tagline. So for instance, mine right now, the actual channel, and it says it right on there, is Ray the Video Guy, Video Marketing for All. Because that's kind of my tagline right now, is Video Marketing for All. And so I put that into the name of the actual channel. And of course, if you've got a business, YouTube may not like me saying this because they probably discourage a little bit of this kind of activity. But let's say you've got, Joe's Mechanic Shop. You might put, your page might be Joe the Mechanic or Joe's Mechanics, and then put in, Baltimore Mechanic or something like that. That's searchable. And that can be a big help. Don't get too spammy, but you can definitely help yourself there. So if your company is, Jones Law, you may want to put Jones Law Personal Injury Lawyers or something like that. And that way it kind of gives a little bit more of a distinction that's searchable inside of there. The next thing we want to talk about on your channel is the trailer. The trailer is very important because this is what's going to provide people with their very first interaction with you, unless they've seen other videos in the past. So if this is their first time finding you, coming to your channel, the trailer is going to give them everything that they need to know about you and your business and your channel. So for instance, on my channel, I introduce myself, I talk about what it is we do, I talk about how often we post new videos, and then I tell them what they can find below. So I'm literally introducing them directly to the channel itself. And I'm telling them where they're going to find different videos, what we have available, when we can expect new things, all the information that somebody who's checking out the channel might need to know. Now, if you're a business, you might go a slightly different route, and you might do a bit of a commercial on yourself. So the trailer might be, I'm John, I'm a mechanic, and, we put up videos that show you how to fix your car. But of course, we're in the Baltimore area, so please come down to, get your car fixed by John's Mechanic Shop in Baltimore. That kind of a thing. So it's a really good introduction to your channel. Now, one thing that YouTube allows here is a full description on the right-hand side of that. So you're going to have your trailer video, and then you're going to have your description right next to that. What I recommend people to do is to change the way you do your description just for this video that's being featured as a trailer. And the reason I say that is this is an opportunity to put in some different links and different important information before it runs out of room, because you're only going to get a limited amount of text that's going to fit there. So what I like to do is put a little bit of information about the channel and the trailer, and then put links to my page, my Facebook, whatever it happens to be that I want to get people to go to, anything special that's going on. And that way it all shows up right there front and center in front of people as they arrive to the page. So that's something you can do there. A little bit different than you would optimize a regular video, and that's specifically for that purpose. Also, in this same section with that trailer, you can actually choose what videos people see next. So for instance, they may come there for the first time, get your trailer. The next time they come, you might have them show in that spot a couple of different videos that showcase what you would want somebody to see next. So in my case, I to be honest with you, I don't remember what it is that I put in those right now. But I'm guessing it's probably one is probably a free giveaway video. and one is probably a current piece of software or something that people can buy that's very useful with a review. And so that's what people see when they come back the next time. Okay. And so that's just a great way to, when people first get there, give them something that you want them to see right away and get them used to seeing that on your channel. Now, down below this is where you can put all of your videos. Now, if you'll notice in the little tab or the little menu that's below your video on the channel or below the channel art on the page, you can jump to different sections. One section says videos, and when you go there, it's just going to be this big, massive list of videos. All your videos are just going to be there, at least the public ones. But on your channel page that people land on, you have the opportunity to show them what you want them to see. So if you have 300 videos, but maybe only 50 of them are the ones that really make a difference and you want people to see right away, you can make sure that those 50 videos are what are showcased on your page. And the way you do this is by creating what are called sections. Sections are almost like chapters in a book, or or channels on a TV. So if you go into your TV and you go ESPN and then you go TNT and USA, it's kind of that sort of an organization. Or even better would probably be Netflix. You go into Netflix and you see popular movies, and then you see comedies, and then you see horror, and then you see sci-fi, and then you see continue watching this. So that's the type of thing that you're going to do on this channel page. So you're going to create sections. Now a section can be recent uploads. It could be recent live videos. It could be your personal favorite videos. It could be favorited videos from other channels that you're putting onto your own channel. And then the part that I use the most, you can actually have individual playlists in those sections. So for instance, what I do is, like we talked about last week, if you want to learn more about playlists, watch last week's episode or listen to last week's episode. You'll learn all about playlists. What I like to do on the channel page is to choose a single playlist as a section. So if you go to my channel, which is Ray the Video Guy on YouTube, you'll notice underneath the trailer, you're going to see, the first thing you're going to see is, and I forget exactly how I labeled it, but it's like, free products. And so in each of those sections, in that first section, you've got all these videos about free product giveaways. So you've got free videos that you can download, free music you can download, free images you can download, free sound effects you can download, free backgrounds, things like that. And so each of those videos in that section, they go right across, has one of those videos where people can see that. The next section is YouTube tips, I believe. And so in that section, it's going to be all the tips that we give and the videos we create about YouTube. So my video about YouTube playlists, my video about the channel page, my video about thumbnails, my video about how to become a partner, whatever it happens to be, are all going to be in that section there, so people can watch those. The next section down might be something like product reviews. And then the next one might be video products, specifically like hardware, like cameras and lights and things like that. Product reviews might be software and training programs that you can purchase. And it's going to be my reviews of each of those products. I've got a section specifically for Movo on there where I do all of my Movo reviews. So, a review of a certain light, a review of a certain microphone, a review of a certain stand. So you can see all of those in there. And then we might have one that's, I've got an older one on there from old tips that we used to give, an old little daily show that I used to do. And then down below that, we also have past webinars. So if I've taken a webinar and I've done a webinar and I've put it into a YouTube video, I've got a section where you can watch webinars on a specific subject. It could be a training webinar, it could be a product webinar, but they just list them in there. You can go in and watch each of those. And that allows people to come in there and watch exactly what they need. They're looking for tips on YouTube. It's all right there. They're looking for Movo product reviews. They're all right there. And it makes it very easy for people to go in and check it out. Now, I think we talked last week about how many of those sections we can have on the channel. And I meant to actually check this week. I didn't check. So I know it's at least 10 right now. It used to be limited. I think it was like 7 or 8. And now it seems to be a lot more sections you can have on there, but I don't know what the limitation is. I should probably find out. Maybe afterwards I'll take the time to do that. We'll post it in the show notes or on Facebook or something like that so that we know how many sections. But, needless to say, it's enough. It's enough sections that you can do whatever you want to do. Now, going back like we talked about last week with the playlists, when you create a playlist, whether it's for a section or it's just for creating a playlist in general, if you go into that playlist and you optimize that with all of the traditional information that you would put on a YouTube video, so properly optimized information about that video and links and information about you and products and whatever it happens to be, that's going to show up in each of those sections. Now, it's going to be just a little snippet of it, but each one of those little snippets is information about that section and can even have a link back to a product. So, for instance, in my Movo section, where it's all videos about, a review of this microphone and a view of this light and a view of this and a view of that, I can have information in the actual section itself with a link back to the page that has all of the Movo products so people can buy any of them. And then in the individual videos, we'd have a link to that product on the page so people can purchase that particular product. But either way, you've got an opportunity to optimize each one of those sections. And how powerful do you think your channel is going to be when you've not only got all of these videos set up properly, people are there, they can watch exactly what they want, but each one of those sections has a keyword-rich optimization for each section and in the About area. And so now you've got this page that has just a ton of information that YouTube now has access to know what your channel is about. And if your channel has an About area that talks about, let's take, for example, let's take a lawyer's channel page. If they've got a channel page where it's optimized about them being a lawyer, and it's even got their GMB information to help get a citation in the About section, and then it's got 5 different sections on that page, each one of them optimized with a link back to the page and information about their citations or their name, address, phone number for their GMB in each one of those, how hard is it going to be for Google to know what that page is about? It's not going to be hard at all. They're going to know when you're a lawyer and the name of your channel is John Smith, Boston Personal Injury Lawyer, and the page is optimized for Boston Injury Lawyer and your name, and each section is optimized for your name and a personal injury lawyer term, like car accidents and videos about that, truck accidents, videos about that, and then each one of those videos is optimized for that. It's going to be very easy for YouTube to be comfortable when somebody does a search for personal injury lawyers in Boston to say, this is clearly the channel that we want to share with them, because the About information is all about personal injury and a specific person, and it has citations, and each section is about this and has information about different types of personal injury law, and each video has information about those different personal injury types of law. You're going to get featured a lot more often than anybody else, especially if you've got good thumbnails, because that's something else we really want to talk about. And that's one of the reasons that I had Thumbnail Blaster as the kind of the product that we're putting forth at the front of this, because it is so good at creating thumbnails. And believe me, when you create a channel page where you've got a trailer and you've got, watch next videos, and you've got different sections with all of these videos in there, you want to have each one of those optimized perfectly by having a nice thumbnail on them so people can see exactly what they are. In fact, if you want to see a channel that I use as an example all the time, because it's a well-known name and it really shows off well, is check out Gillette's YouTube channel, Gillette, the razor company. They have different sections in there. So one is on manscaping, and it's got all these thumbnails that are like cartoon drawings, but they use the Gillette logo in the corner, and they use a certain type of text. Well, then in another section about different types of beards, they use real people's faces, but they're black and white, but they still use the exact same logo down the side and the same type of text and the same type of format. And then in another section, they use colored pictures, but it's that same format. So each section kind of has its own thumbnail style, but all the styles clearly are from the same person because they look similar, but they're slightly different. And I'm trying to put that together on mine. So, for instance, all the reviews will have one particular type of look. All of the Movo things will have a different type of look. All of the review videos will have a different type of look. And I'm kind of failing at that, and it's kind of mixed up. But at some point, I'll probably go back and fix some of the old ones that have good thumbnails, but that I want to make sure all match in those different types of areas. So maybe it'll be a color. So maybe all of the Movo ones will be that light green Movo color, but all of the reviews will be blue, and all of the tips will be red, and things like that. But they'll all have that same style to them, just with a different color. For instance, I actually work with a dentist who has a channel that's all about dental product reviews and dental information. And what I did was I've got a very similar style for the thumbnails on there, except that the ones that are tips about brushing your teeth and things like that are kind of this bluish green faded background color, and the ones that are specifically product related have a more solid blue background. But other than that color, they look almost identical, except for the text that's on them. So you get a very similar look, but you can distinguish still the tips from the reviews. And that's kind of what I wanted to go with. And if you're a lawyer, you could do the same thing. All of your Chapter 7 bankruptcy videos could be a certain style, and all of your Chapter 13s could be a slightly different style, but similar enough that both of them are from the same lawyer. And that's kind of the fun things you can do. And like I said, last week I talked about this, but Thumbnail Blaster is the program you really, really want to check out specifically for this. And I don't want this to just be a commercial about that, but I feel this strongly about the product because you literally link your channel into Thumbnail Blaster. And so inside of Thumbnail Blaster, you choose your channel. It'll pull up all of your videos. You choose the video you want to add a thumbnail to. You add the thumbnail to, you hit publish, and it automatically puts it on YouTube. You don't even have to go to YouTube to check it out. I mean, you can go there to look and see that it worked, but you don't have to go to YouTube to upload anything. It does it right from Thumbnail Blaster, and you can just do each one all in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if they're using the exact same template, you're just changing the words and maybe changing an image. Take you, no time at all to do an entire channel of really good thumbnails that are going to be better than what most people have out there. And like I said, YouTube themselves have said title, thumbnail. That's the two most important things they're looking for right now when it comes to featuring videos. And by featuring, that means putting them on the homepage, putting them in the related videos, putting them in the related videos on your actual player. All of that stuff is determined by thumbnails and title mostly. Yes, other things like description matter, but your thumbnail, very important. And on your channel, thumbnail, very, very important. So highly recommend that you check that out. Again, raythevideoguy.com/thumbnail blaster. Do it. I mean, just, it doesn't cost much, but it can make a big difference. And if you're working with clients, and they've got a channel with 50 videos, 100 videos in it, and you can say to them, hey, you know what, we're going to come up with a style and we're going to do it on all your videos. You can charge them a good amount of money for that, and you can have it done in a fairly short amount of time. So, again, I don't mean this to be a commercial, but I feel that program is that important that, we really should bring it up. And it's important to your channel. Steve, yes.
Yeah, and I bought it, by the way, so I'll give it an endorsement. It's wonderful. Couple of other things. Joe, thank you, Joe, for looking up how many sections. It is 10. It is 10?
Oh, man, I thought they'd gone beyond it. I thought I'd already hit 10, so.
Yeah, we you guessed right, though. And then, the last thing, too, one thing to keep in mind that if you build your YouTube channel on the same account as where you've claimed your Google My Business, then what's going to happen is when somebody clicks on your listings, there's sections in there. So there's the contact information, there's questions, there's reviews. And if you scroll all the way down, it's going to say, Frank's Law Firm on the web, and it's going to have their blog and their website and their YouTube channel. Nice. So if somebody is checking you out, if they go to your YouTube channel and see it's fully optimized, that's impressive. If I've got an attorney that's got just a ton of sections in there that we've built for him, and what I probably need to do is go back and do the thumbnails. But so if somebody does stop on there and goes to look at the YouTube channel, the first thing they're going to see is videos getting all their questions answered.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
That's
so
cool.
For businesses, that is huge, having an FAQ section for either for specific things or just an FAQ section in general. So, if you're a mechanic, you might have, an FAQ section for trucks and an FAQ section for cars. And that's going to answer questions. Bankruptcy attorneys, we used to work a lot with bankruptcy attorneys. There are so many questions people have, and those poor bankruptcy attorneys get phone calls all day long. Oh, I just got something in the mail. What do I do? If you could have a channel that answers those questions before they get that paper in the mail, and it says, what to expect next, and they watch and it's like, okay, you're going to get this in the mail. How powerful is that just in saving time and phone calls? Because people are going to call all the time, and that's going to make a big difference. And that goes for anything, personal injury, what to expect, after an accident. What is the insurance company going to try and do? And what should you do if the insurance company says yes? Or what are you going to do if the insurance company says no? Or, all of those types of things can be a big help for anybody that's doing work on the web, whether they're a client of yours or not. If they're not a client, well, that's a great opportunity to provide that value so that they go, okay, I need an attorney. These guys know what they're talking about. We're going to jump in and have them handle it. And that can be a really good thing. So it's highly recommended that you take this very seriously. And by the way, you can charge a good amount of money for setting this up. I mean, we charge, the standard for just going in and setting this up, putting in some sections, making sure that their graphics are there and that their trailer is there. And to be honest with you, with most clients, the trailer is just going to be a random video, at least at the start. You're going to pick the best video. Maybe they've got this one video that kind of showcases the whole business. That'll be their trailer to get started with, unless we get them to actually record one specific for that trailer purpose. But, we charge $1,000 just to go in and do that. And when you know what you're doing, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to make that $1,000. I mean, certainly probably only, a couple of hours, as long as you have everything you need at the most. So you can do really well doing this. And we don't have a lot of people that say, nah, I don't want to do this. They jump in on it. You can charge extra for those thumbnails. If they want to add thumbnails in there, you can charge extra for that because you got to design them. Channel art, you can charge extra for that. So all of these different things you can do just by knowing how to set these things up properly. So there you go. That is my rant on YouTube channels. One of the most underutilized things on YouTube. Thumbnails are one of them, and the actual channel is the other. There are so many businesses I go to who hire me to help them out, and I go there and their channel's not even set up. They might have some videos, but their channel's not even set up at all. And so it's a big waste if you're not doing that. And it's an opportunity not only for having people find you, but just when people do find you, having that professional looking, well set up channel, it really builds, some authority for you as well and some visibility. So very important that you do that.
You did pretty good. You did pretty good for getting over being sick. You didn't know if you'd make it.
I did.
Show.
Earlier I was trying to record some videos, and if you listen to the raw recording of the videos, you'll see halfway through it I stop and hack for 10 minutes and then get back into it like nothing happened.
Maybe that's why you did good on this. You've kind of gotten rid of everything.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, this is the tail end, so it should be a lot better now anyway. So.
Yeah. And the other thing too, by optimizing your channel, as Ray mentioned, YouTube is going to give you more SEO love and more options to implement.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So that's good.
You gotta definitely optimize the entire thing, not just the channel page, but the channel page is a big part of that. And so you definitely want to jump on that.
Yeah, and then go into your back office. It'll show you what the other back office things that you can optimize. So that's all very cool. Thank you, Ray.
Indeed.
Yeah, and now let's see. You were talking today about Thumbnail Blaster, and I guess they're helping us bring the show to everybody, eh?
Why, that's true. Today's episode is indeed made possible by Thumbnail Blaster, the software that I use pretty much every single day to create amazing thumbnails for all of my videos, my clients' videos, and everything in between, because it is so easy to set it up and to use it. It's got a ton of templates built in, and all you have to do is go in, add your channel, then you choose your channel, pick the video that you want to add the thumbnail to, choose the template, change the wording, maybe change a picture out, whatever you need to do with that. Boop, hit publish, and it goes directly to YouTube. You don't even have to be in YouTube. You don't even have to have a YouTube logged in or anything. You do it all from Thumbnail Blaster. It's going to send that thumbnail directly to that video and publish it for you. So I don't know how they do it. Magic fairy dust, who knows? Didn't know you could do that with software, but apparently you can. And by the way, these are the same people that brought us Lingo Blaster. So, and if you don't know what Lingo Blaster is a software that looks very similar. Again, you've got your YouTube channels attached, and instead of doing a thumbnail, you're translating the video or the text in the video, the channel page, the video page, into any of hundreds of languages. So if your client is a lawyer and they're in an area that has a high population of Spanish-speaking people, you can use Lingo Blaster to translate everything into Spanish. Now, not the video itself. Obviously, it's not going to change your voiceover in the video, but it will actually translate all the text on the page and everything else into that language. And so you can get a lot of traffic based off of that. So it's the same guys, same principle. You pick a video, you hit translate, you pick your languages, you hit publish, and it's done. So they have a history of making really, really good integrated YouTube softwares. And this one here, Thumbnail Blaster, absolutely amazing. Allows you to make these thumbnails very, very quickly. Check it out, raythevideoguy.com/thumbnail blaster, all one word.
Very cool.
And with that brings us to the end of another great episode of Video Marketing Madness. So for Steve Sleeper, I'm Ray the Video Guy. Let's hit that funky music one more time. Woo!
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.